Hey, morning, kid. I'm sorry this message is so long overdue, but here I am. I want to give you kind of like the scoop on your specific piece for the session on Saturday. So, so as you saw in the email I sent you over the weekend, let me pull it up. Where the heck did it go? Oh, right. Um, yeah, I sent the you and the group some thoughts. Bridging our meeting to going forward. And um, yeah, so it says in there that the presentation order will be first Mar, then Katie, then you, and then Claire. And let me explain how and why it's in that particular order. So, in reading through the session abstract and after the group heard like my thoughts on what inspired this session and whatnot, um, they I guess we decided as a group that it would be best for us to take the topic of gun control and see how that impacts how that not so much what we think on the issue, more so how that issue impacts um, our lives and responsibilities. So like our teaching, our perspective as students, our research, um, our activities or service work, like doing social justice or activism kind of stuff. So like, how does um, the current conversation on gun control impact us? And so um, Claire, so beginning with Mar wanted to talk about. She wanted to kind of give the state of affairs of how the how gun control is being talked about in terms of legislation. Um, like what are the different perspectives in this issue? So she wanted to give like a broad national forecast, not forecast, snapshot, okay, of the current political conversation. Then Katie wanted to bring it from like a governmental national level to a community kind of level, in sense of how does gun control, um, what are the implications for the interactions we have in terms of us being able to have conversation or civil discourse, civil interpersonal discourse on heavy political issues such as gun control. So she wanted to like bring it down from there. And now we get to your piece because you'll be going next. And how that's supposed to look for you is that it'll be great for you if you could touch on how the issue of gun control impacts you as a undergraduate student. Um, yeah, so it would be great if you could tie in like, or at least focus on the classroom environment, because that's where the student perspective is most anchored. But it'd be great for you to kind of speak on the perspective of the classroom environment in terms of gun control from your eyes, from being an undergraduate student. So I guess the question becomes for you is, um, how does um, how does your what would the topic of gun control? So here's two questions. One, what would the topic of gun control, if discussed in the classroom environment for you, what would that look like? Um, Student to student as well as student to instructor. And it'd be great if you could like perhaps tie in some personal experiences with that of some sort. But also, the second question is, um, how would gun control go down? Given the multiple perspectives. So if if guns were allowed in the classroom, um, by the student or the instructor, how would that shape the classroom dynamic? Um, um, what if they weren't allowed at all? Um, just whatever kind of scenarios you could you could think of. So I'm sorry if this sounds very jumbled. I should have wrote it all down, but I guess essentially what we're seeking is how does gun control impact the perspective and experience of our students in the classroom environment? So there's the question. See what you could do with that. Because going from your position to then Claire, who will wrap us up, Claire is going to be speaking on how I believe she'll be coming from a more pedagogical perspective of having critical or tough conversations in the classroom, like ways to do that, particularly tied to like gun control or something like that. Okay, and so that's gonna be the flow of the panel. We're going with Mar from like national perspectives to university classrooms, ending with Claire. Okay, and so I know in that message I said that it'd be great to have your pieces by Thursday, but yes, I still would like to hold true to that, regardless of me sending you the message now. And I'm happy to go back and forth with drafts of outlines or whatever. The directions are all in that email. Okay. Whew, I think that's it. Oh, by the way, just to reiterate something important about your piece, is that it'd be great if it were anchored in some sort of text or example. Okay, so text could be an article that you've read, a news piece, a quote from a scholar of some sort. It'd be great if it were in communication, but we'll see. So that's what I mean by text. But example could be either an actual lived experience or a series of scenarios of concrete scenarios that you can present. So it'd be great if your text were just anchored in something. Because one of the things as the chair is I'll probably ask you, okay, what was the genesis of your perspective? Like, how did you come up with this? How did you arrive at that? And so having your piece anchored in some sort of text or example will help out with that sort of question. Okay? So other than that, let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything else I could do. And looking forward to reading through your piece. All right, sir. Be easy.